So, the bathroom floor. Not the most glamorous of places to draw, not the most glamorous place to do a mural, or whatever you might call this, but not every piece of art has to be on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel, does it? I'm sure the Sistine Chapel looked a lot cooler after Mike did his painting on the ceiling there, and maybe this bathroom looks a little bit cooler after I did my drawing on the floor here. This is also the same drawing where I drew on the walls here a few months ago, so I came back to draw on the floors. I personally think the floors here look a lot cooler than what I did on the walls for a couple reasons, partly because it pops a little bit more. I used a black. The materials I used here are a Montana Street Dabber, I think it's called. For most of it, I used the paint version. They have two versions. They have a paint version and an ink version. Then I ran out of the paint version and had to switch to the ink version, which I was afraid of, because mostly just as kind of a rule of thumb, you don't want to switch materials in the middle of an art project. But I did it and it worked out okay. The ink didn't work quite as well. It just wasn't as consistent, but it still worked okay and it got the job done, and I think it looks fine. But yeah, Montana Street Dabbers by Montana Colors, I think. Montana, they're this company that makes all these, different sort of graffiti street art things. They make lots of really nice spray paint and stuff like that. They have all sorts of sub companies, like MTN 94 and all this sort of stuff. But that's what this is. And this stuff worked great. I think I like these lines better because when I drew on the walls, I don't know how many of you have seen that previous video. I think it's called Drawing on Bathroom Walls or something like that. I was using not a chisel tip. Maybe it's kind of like a chisel tip where the tip was more rectangular in shape. Maybe you know what I'm talking about. But this one, the Street Dabbers were completely round in shape, so the lines were consistent in width. And when you use a rectangular tipped marker, depending on which way you draw the lines, they change in shape. Also, when I drew on the walls of the bathroom, I wish I'd had maybe a month to do it instead of a week. But that's just me. That's just me thinking out loud, hemming and hawing. It's okay. It turned out okay. The main downsides to this were that I had to draw in a bathroom that had been previously used, right? When I did the walls, this place was brand new and hadn't been opened yet. No one had been using these bathrooms. But now these bathrooms have been used. They were washed well, okay. It didn't smell too bad in there. They mopped well for me. They washed the toilets looked clean. And it's a good thing because I was all up on those, getting down in the nooks and crannies and crevices underneath and beside and between the toilets and under the stalls and everything, all up under the sinks. I was drawing all over the floors. And you realize, even after mopping, that you don't really get everything up because this marker was picking up everything else. I had to keep on pulling hair off the tip of the marker, which is a little bit gross. I just try not to think about it too much. I wore a paint suit. What do you call that? Like a onesie, a thing. And I just wore it and I went home. I took a shower. I washed the thing. This took me about 2 days, about 10 hours one day. Then I came back on another day, about a week later, and did it for about probably 7 more hours for 2 bathrooms, men and women, and a little entryway. And I like it. I like how it turned out. It's cool to be able to walk on the art. Usually you don't walk on art. And actually, that's wrong. There's a lot of times when you walk on art, thinking patterns in rugs and carpets. Actually, there's lots of really cool ornamental rugs you can walk on. There's a whole Instagram account of some guy who travels a lot and he takes pictures of weird, wacky hotel carpets that he sees. That's all it's in his Instagram account. He has 400,000 followers or something. I'm not sure how that happened. And his real Instagram account only has 2,000. His personal one only has 2,000 followers. I don't know. Instagram's weird. But Yeah, this turned out good. I think I could draw on the floor some more, somewhere else. I like it. Drawing the floor is way easier to me than drawing on the walls. Your arms don't get as tired. It's good to have good posture, right? When I commented on Twitter that I was drawing on the walls, drawing on the floor, I mentioned it, and someone said, "Hey, make sure you change up your resting arm every now and then or something." And I think I subconsciously did that, but it didn't seem like much of a problem. When I got home after the first day, I did notice that like my hands were sore just from having them, resting, leaning on them so much, and my butt was sore. Oh no, there's a fire truck coming by. Just a second. Okay, it's gone. My butt was sore from sitting on the hard concrete for like 10 hours, but that was about it. Like drawing on the wall, your arm gets tired from having your arm up against the wall, the blood's draining out of it. Sitting on the floor and drawing on the floor is a very natural, relaxed position to be in, and it was good. I liked it. Once again, the only main weird thing about this that's different from what I normally do is that normally I'm drawing on a piece of paper and I have the drawing there in front of me, and the piece of paper, my whole drawing, right, and makes up for a very small part of my entire field of vision, right? And I can see the whole thing. I can lean back and look at it. But here, when you're drawing on a wall or drawing on the floor, I'm right down there, way in the middle of it. It takes up my whole field of vision. The art stretches out from horizon to horizon. I'm down there lost in the middle of my own art, and you have to take a minute every now and then to stand up, back up, walk away, try to get a big picture view of it to see what you should do with it next. It's just a little bit different in that sense. And I don't think I'm completely good at it yet, but I feel like I may be getting a little bit better. It's just the feeling of translating what I normally do to this kind of larger scale. But it's cool. This style I'm doing here is very much just doodling. I just start with one little design and just more little lines and loops and stuff kind of ballooning out, unfolding from a starting point, which was usually the toilet in the handicap stall in the back of the bathroom. Then I would kind of work my way and paint myself out of the bathroom there. If I had started by the door, then I would have been trapped in the back corner. It would have been the worst thing in the world, though, because these markers do seem to dry very fast. So it was okay. But yeah, it's cool. I like this. Maybe I'll find more floors to draw on. Get some more of these markers. We'll see. Thanks for watching, everybody. Let me know if you have any questions. There's probably something else I wanted to mention, but I forgot. That's okay. That always happens. Okay. All right. Bye, everybody.